Today's episode will be looking at the muscles of the proximal leg segment, or the upper leg segment. The muscles that comprise the upper leg segment are the vastus lateralis, the muscles running down the outside of the upper leg segment, the vastus medialis running down the middle part, interior, and then the intermedius, which is also covered by the rectus femoris, the big muscle running down the top of the femur bone. Also, we will look at the hamstrings, which are comprised of the semimembranosus, the semitendinosus, and then the biceps femoris running down the back of the proximal leg segment. Also, the gluteus maximus, the gluteus minimus, and the gluteus medius are all involved in the exercises that we will look at today. The squat, or bodyweight squat, is an unbelievably excellent exercise for almost every muscle in the proximal leg segment, as well as the glutes as well. So, in order to do a squat, we can either use weights and add some weight to stress our muscles more, or we can just do a bodyweight squat and do more reps. The point is to stress all of our muscles in the motions of standing up, squatting down, and then getting back to a standing position. So most people are familiar with the squat, but what we really stress is good upright posture for your spinal column. Also keeping the weight on the heels, not out over the toes. And then good center of gravity up top. You can either boxer's pose, cross your arms. I like to hold it like that simply to give myself a good center, good solid upper, helps me keep an upright posture and a straight spinal column. Then with feet shoulder width apart, we're just going to go down with our weight centered over our heels, nice and balanced, down to a 45 or a 90-degree angle with our legs. All the way down, back up to a standing position, down again, and then we just repeat this motion until we're done with our set. That's a bodyweight squat. Now, if you were to use more weight, we would do less reps. But since this is just with your body weight and you're capable of doing quite a few of them, I tend to shoot for several different sets. So 4 sets, 6 sets, 8 sets, depending on your progression, and then aim for a relatively high number of reps per set, somewhere in the 12 to 20 range. This is a squat machine. This is exactly the same motion as a bodyweight squat. It stresses the same muscles, the quadriceps, the hamstrings, and the glutes. The only difference is that you're stationary and you have a backrest in order to keep your spine in that correct upright position. Now, just as with the bodyweight squat, we're going to have our feet at a shoulder width distance apart, have your knees and proximal leg segment at a 90-degree angle from the foot pad. 45-degree angle is a little bit easier if you don't want to go all the way down into that squat. And then, once you're adjusted correctly for the machine, you choose your weight. Now, squats, your legs are very powerful by comparison to other muscles in your body because they're large muscle segments. So you can use quite a bit of weight. Now, it depends on the individual, as with anything that's a weighted exercise. And you're going to want to choose a weight that allows you to do between 8 to 12 reps. Now, once you've selected the correct weight, you will just, as with the bodyweight squat, press with your feet, have the pressure going through your heels, and extend those legs out to a fully extended position. You don't want them to lock, so just up to the point of locking. Without locking, and then under control, lower that resistance. Don't let that weight slam back down. You should have better control than that. And you should do a set with between 8 to 12 reps of that weight. And that will be working your quadriceps, your hamstrings. This is a leg extension machine. Now this isolates the muscles of the quadriceps. So down the middle, the rectus femoris, the vastus lateralis, the vastus medialis on this interior portion, and then the intermedius underneath the rectus femoris. This will not work the glutes or the hamstrings. All we're doing is focusing on the front portion of that proximal leg segment.
Now, as far as positioning goes, you're going to want to set the back pad far enough back to where your knees are very comfortably right at the edge of the seat pad. Now, when they hang down, your ankles should be comfortably positioned right at the foot pad level. Now, once you've got that foot pad right in front of your shins at the top of your ankles, you'll select a weight, again, that allows you to do between 8 to 12 reps. Now, just as with the squat machine, I like to choose between 3 to 4 different sets, and then 8 to 12 reps, and then progress from that incrementally up in weight with each set. Now this is just exactly how it sounds. Press that back into the pad, and then you just extend those legs outward to a nearly fully extended position without locking your knees, and then lower back under control. Up, back down under control, and that's 1 rep. Up, back down, up, fully extended, back down under control, and that is a leg extension for the quadriceps. This is the seated leg curl machine. Now here, we're isolating the hamstrings on the back side. So we're isolating the biceps femoris, the semimembranosus, and the semitendinosus muscles of the hamstrings. So what we'll do is position ourselves up here with the backrest far enough forward to where it allows our ankles very comfortably to be with our Achilles tendon right on the foot pad down here. If it's too far down, adjust the seat pad back. If it's too far forward, vice versa, change it up so it's comfortably on the back part of your ankles with that foot pad. Then adjust this leg pad to where it keeps you in a stationary position all the way through the motion. Once we've adjusted, again, we'll choose a weight that allows us to do between 8 to 12 reps, and then we'll just isolate those hamstrings. Grip, keep yourself in a firm position. The only thing that's moving is our lower leg segment from the knees on down, and we'll just take that all the way down, curl those legs under you. You'll feel that in your hamstrings, and then you'll lower that, raise that back up, allow that resistance to take you to your fully extended position. This is exactly the opposite motion as we were doing with the leg extension. So instead of the agonist muscles, or the muscles doing all the work, being in the quadriceps, these are the opposite. We're working the hamstring muscles on the back of the legs. So you'll curl those under, and then lower back under control. Allow that resistance to lift it back up to the fully extended position. Then you'll curl back down to a 45 or 90 degree angle, and allow that resistance to take you back up to the fully extended position. Shoot for 3-4 different sets of this, between 8 to 12 reps, and then incrementally increase your weight after your first set, to your second, to your third, and then your fourth. And that is the curl machine for your hamstring. Today we looked at exercises that allow us to work our proximal leg segment, comprised of the quadriceps in the front, the hamstrings in the back, as well as the glutes. Now, we looked at the bodyweight squat, we looked at the squat machine, the ham curl machine, as well as the seated leg extension. In order to strengthen all of these muscles, you need to do a myriad of exercises for them. These are some of the best and the simplest in order to get the best results. Now, it's important to have strong legs and strong glutes to attenuate back pain, help with posture, give yourself a strong core, also help with your gait to keep you even throughout your stride, which will help from putting too much emphasis on one side or the other, which will in itself help with having a strong, good posture, less back pain, even help with neck pain, because you're even, strong throughout. It will help you throughout your day, doing motions such as kneeling, getting back up, getting out of bed in the morning, getting out of chairs, squatting down for gardening, all of those types of things. And most people neglect their lower body when they're in the gym, so it's extremely important to put in a little bit of extra time and focus on these muscle groups.